Good morning and welcome to Time in the Word. Today we're continuing our look at what Chris and Dave started last week. I call them character builders or character traits that we're supposed to demonstrate as a follower of Jesus. And today I thought I would start by sharing with you a story. World-renowned violinist Itzhak Perlman was stricken with polio as a child. As a result, he wore braces on both legs and walked with the aid of crutches. At concerts, getting on stage was no small achievement for him. He would slowly cross the stage until he reached his chair. Then he would lay his crutches on the floor, slowly undo the clasp on his legs, tuck one foot back, and extend the other foot forward. Then he would bend down and pick up the violin, put it under his chin, and nod to the conductor, and then proceed to play. I read an account about one fall evening in 1995 when Perlman was performing at Avery Fisher Hall at the Lincoln Center in New York City. He had to deal with one additional struggle. Jack Rimmer, a columnist with the Houston Chronicle, described the scene. Here's what he wrote. Just as he finished the first few bars, one of the strings on the violin broke. You could hear it snap. It went off like gunfire across the room. There was no mistaking what that sound meant. And there was no mistaking what he had to do. People who were there said, we figured he would have to get up to either find another violin or find another string for this one. But he didn't. Instead, he waited a moment, closed his eyes, then signaled for the conductor to begin again. The orchestra and he played from where he had left off. He played with passion and power. Of course, it's impossible to play a symphonic work with just 3 strings. But that night, Itzhak Perlman refused to know that. You could see him modulate, change, and recompose the piece in his head. At one point, it sounded like he was detuning the strings to get new sounds that they had never made before. It was a remarkable scene. Itzhak Perlman demonstrated great perseverance in the face of struggle, in the face of difficulty. I suppose you can guess that today we're talking about that character trait, perseverance. I think we've seen plenty of examples of perseverance throughout our culture and in our time. One of the ones that I remember very well is a guy named Derek Redmond. He has been called one of the purest examples of determination and perseverance in Olympic history. You might remember it as I do. He finished the 400-meter race in the 1992 Barcelona Olympics. Who can forget the scene of his father helping him the last few meters as he nursed his badly injured hamstring? But he wanted to persevere. He wanted to finish the race. I was looking this last week, too, at a young lady named Bethany Hamilton, a surfer. She was a world-class surfer, and she lost an arm due to a shark attack. She went through some very tough times to learn to be a one-armed surfer and to regain her championship form. You may have seen her movie called Soul Surfer, a powerful story of perseverance and bearing up under trial. James 1:12 says this, Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. Now that's a familiar verse, but I think it's one that's important for us to look at today as we're looking at the character trait of perseverance. Looking at that word perseverance or persevere, that verb, the idea here in the original language is to hang in there, to hang on, to not give up, to not let go, to stick with something. That's what it means to persevere. And James is writing, blessed is the one who sticks with it, who doesn't give up even under trial. Now that was interesting too, under trial. Well, we know as followers of Jesus that we don't live a life of smooth sailing. There are difficult things that come our way practically every day. Challenges catch us unaware and can leave us reeling. Things like physical health and family junk and job struggles and broken relationships, being made fun of or ridiculed for trying to live like Jesus and do what Jesus would have you do. These are just a few of the many different kinds of trials that we as followers of Jesus face. And I'm sure that if you were given opportunity today, you could list even more. But James says, blessed is the one who perseveres, sticks with it under trial, during times like these and others. It's easy for us to tell others to persevere. It's easy for me to talk about it today in our time in the Word, to persevere, to hang in there. It's always easy to be someone else's corner man and to say, you can do it. Hang in there. And it's important to do that. But it's a lot tougher when the trial is our trial. It's a lot tougher to hang in there when we're the one that's going through the fire. But that's what James is telling us to do. As followers of Jesus, we are to hang in there, to not give up, to not quit, to not knuckle under, even under trial. Because having stood the test, that person receives an incredible reward. You know, I was thinking about this passage in connection with our sermon series in the book of Hebrews. That's what we've been talking about over the last several weeks as we've looked at how Jesus was greater than anything that came before. The Hebrew Christians were told, don't quit, don't go back. I wish I could say to you, and I wish it applied to me, that once we were a follower of Jesus, it would not be tough anymore. That life would be easy and smooth. But that's not true. What is true is that if you and I exercise faith and persevere and hang on even when it's tough, then we can stand. We can get through that tough time. It doesn't mean we get over it, but we can get through that tough time and we can stand. Those who will persevere, having their trust in Jesus Christ, those who persevere under trial, having stood the test, they stand. And by standing, they receive the crown of life. Now, I looked at that a little bit this week, too. What is this crown of life? I noted that there are 5 different crowns mentioned in the New Testament, and they are rewards. They are special things for believers who have accomplished or done certain things in this life for the cause and the name of Jesus Christ. And for those who will remain faithful, for those who will stick with it, for those who refuse to give up, even in times of trouble, for those who persevere, they can look forward to receiving the crown of life. What a wonderful gift. What a wonderful thing to keep our eyes on as we go through these difficult times in this life. You know, I was trying to think a little bit about perseverance over the last few days. Dave, Chris, and I had divided these different character traits up over the last couple of weeks. And I was thinking about perseverance and what that looks like. And to me, one of the best examples is the example of water skiing. I don't know if you've ever water skied before, but 25 years ago and 25 or so more pounds ago, I was a pretty good water skier. My family would go to the lake a lot, and we would, all of us could water ski, and I could even slalom ski at that time. And I remember learning how to slalom ski. That's skiing with just one ski. You'd have the ski on, and you'd have the rope, and you'd try to balance it out against the ski, and the boat would take off as fast as it could, and the water would come pouring back in your face. But I learned, and I always told others when trying to teach them to ski, that if you can hang on while the water's pouring in on you, if you can hang on while the water's coming in as fast as it can, if you can hang on and not get afraid and not let go, in just a few moments, the boat will pull you up, and you will be above that which tries to bring you down. You'll be on top of the water. And I think that is a great illustration of how to persevere in trial. There are some times in our lives when we're in the middle of a trial, and it's just pouring in on us faster and faster and faster, and we think we're going to drown. But if we'll just hang on, in skiing, it's to hang on to the rope, and our faith is hang on to Jesus Christ. If we'll just hang on, it won't be long that we'll be up above that which seeks to bring us down. So I want to encourage you today, if you're taking in a lot of that water, if things are coming in really fast, if things are coming in really hard, don't quit. Don't let go. Hang on. Pretty soon, you'll be riding above that which seeks to bring you down. Blessed is he who perseveres under trial, because when he has stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to those that love him. I hope today that encourages you. Let's all hang in there, no matter what. Hey, we'll look forward to having you again in Time in the Word on Wednesday. Chris will continue this time. Until then, I hope that you will be blessed as you are a blessing to others.